There's going to be an additional 3.2 million millionaires in the US alone over the next 4 years. That's right, let's go. This could be us, guys. Oh my God, sweating. I was actually in the middle of filming this video for you guys. This is a good news video. Be excited because we're going to talk about millionaires. We're going to talk about you guys being a millionaire. There's expected to be a ton more millionaires over the next 4 or 5 years. We're going to dive into that. I just got done cleaning up a huge coffee spill. Was in the middle of filming this and actually tipped my cup over and spilled coffee, black coffee, all over the counter. These beautiful white fabric linen chairs. You can see here that there's some now hopefully not stains, but if you guys have any magical solutions that you think might help get that stuff out, please leave it in the comments below. Want to talk a little bit about behaviors because I never really owned this super nice stuff before having multiple consecutive years as a seven-figure earner. And I actually had never spent over $30,000 on a vehicle until I had multiple years as a seven-figure earner. And I just had a coaching session with one of my members yesterday who has a $50,000 vehicle debt on a vehicle that he recently purchased. And he's struggling right now to even just stay on top of his existing debts. He's got almost $150,000 worth of non-mortgage related debt. And this was due in part to finding and deciding to scrape every penny together to buy his dream home. He kept his eyes on it for a couple of years. And once it hit the market, they put everything they had into it, and now they're just incredibly house poor. So when you look at your dream home suddenly becoming a nightmare, it, I think, should help the rest of us sort of reconsider how we go about doing things. Yes, it's really cool to have nice things, and finally I'm at a stage in life where I can buy the things that I really want, but it comes with a lot more stress. Over the last 15 minutes, I've been freaking out. I'm sweating profusely now because I have coffee all over a $7,000 dining room table and a $1,000 chair, and who knows if it's permanently damaged or not. I'm hoping not. We're going to do our best to get it out of there. Like I said, any tips or hints in the description would help, in the comments section would certainly help a lot. Regardless, I think it really boils down to how you manage your money and how you manage your debt. Using debt as a leveraging source in order to create wealth is smart. Using debt in order to purchase consumer-based products and these wish list items that we all would love to have is dumb. But the good news is this, that you may be closer to becoming a millionaire than you think, because even though much of the news has been bad as of late, with interest rates soaring higher and higher, and these fears of a massive recession looming large, in today's episode, what I want to do is dive into some good news that you might find extremely surprising right now, because according to a 2022 global wealth report by Credit Suisse, I never know how to say that company's name. The global number of millionaires, regardless of whether I say it correctly, is actually expected to nearly double by 2026. You heard that right, folks. The next 4 years is going to produce roughly 25 million new millionaires worldwide, and I want one of those to be you. As of 2021, the world has 62.5 million millionaires, but the figure is expected to grow by 40% roughly over the next 5 years, reaching 87.5 million according to Credit Suisse. Fast growth in Asian countries like China and Japan and Korea, as well as European territories like the UK and France, are expected to lead the increase in worldwide wealth. In fact, China is expected to add more millionaires than any other nation from 2021 to 2026, according to the report. Now, right now, there are 6.2 million millionaires in China, and that's a number that's expected to grow to 12.2 million by 2026. And for comparison, the US currently has 24.5 million millionaires, and it's expected to grow to 27.7 million by 2026, which means that there's going to be an additional 3.2 million millionaires in the US alone over the next 4 years. That's right, let's go. This could be us, guys. Now, this should be extremely affirming for those that are looking to increase their wealth. The opportunities are going to be there, so make sure you're in a position to jump at them when you spot them. As of 2021, the US has by far the highest number of individuals worth $1 million or more. They have nearly 4 times as many as China, which has the second most millionaires. And the report said that despite the inflation and the Russian-Ukraine war, those are obviously setbacks, but they believe that in spite of those, total global wealth will continue to grow. And they also expect household wealth in China to continue to catch up with the US, advancing equivalent of 14 US years between 2021 and 2026. So how did Credit Suisse come to these conclusions? Well, taking a look at the trends in 2021 gives us some insight into how their data is analyzed. Wealth growth was robust in 2021, with total wealth globally reaching 463.6 trillion by the end of the year, an increase of 9.8%, while wealth per adult increased 8.4% to 87,489,000. All regions have contributed to rising wealth globally, but North America and China have been dominant, with North America accounting for slightly over half of the world's total, while China has added a further quarter. In percentage terms, North America and China posted the highest rates of growth at about 15% each, whereas the 1.5% increases in Europe was the lowest of any region. Debt also went up in 2021, with total household debt increasing a staggering 4.4% globally. So this is going to certainly be something that we have to keep an eye on closely while we move forward. Debt is the Achilles tendon here and the real risk to most of us. Now, looking at particular demographic subgroups, it suggests that in the US and in Canada, the largest gains were among millennials and Gen Xers between 2019 and 2022. In the US, African American and Hispanic households saw the largest percentage gains in their wealth during 2021, thanks to increases in housing. But even with those massive increases in home values, the most important worldwide development of 2021 was a broad, substantial rise in stock prices. Much of the change year on year in estimates of an individual country's household wealth is driven by asset prices and currency rates. On average, in 2021, countries depreciated against the US dollar by 2.9%, with Japan and the Eurozone experiencing some of the largest decreases at 9.3% and 7.7% respectively. Significant rises in GDP combined with vigorous equity and housing markets is highly likely to produce sizable wealth gains at the country level. This was certainly the case in 2021, as the US added 19.5 trillion to its stock of household wealth. This is well ahead of China's 11.2 trillion second place contribution, and which itself is well ahead of record-setting increases by Canada's 1.8 trillion, India's 1.5 trillion, and Australia's 1.4 trillion. Asset prices are already falling in 2022, and we might be looking at either a softening or a partial reversal of the trend of 2021. The global top 1%'s share of wealth has increased for the second consecutive year, reaching 45.6% in 2021 compared with 43.9% in 2019. Dollar millionaires gained an additional 5.2 million members in 2021, totaling 62.5 million globally by the end of the year. Now, that 9% increase is a bit higher than the 8.4% growth recorded in per adult wealth, but lower than the 9.5% growth seen in median wealth. Analysis of average wealth in countries and globally shows global wealth inequality has actually fallen over this century, driven by fast growth achieved in emerging markets, and global median wealth has grown about double as fast as the world's per capita wealth, and far faster than the global GDP. The average household has therefore been able to accumulate more wealth in the past 2 decades, which is great to know. Worldwide inflation and the war in the Ukraine will likely hinder the actual creation of wealth as we expect here in the coming years, but nevertheless, world wealth expressed in nominal US dollars is actually expected to grow by 169 trillion through 2026, which is an increase of 36%. Low and middle income countries now hold 24% of the wealth, but they will account for 42% of wealth gains in the coming 5 years. Middle income countries will be a major driving force for global trends. Global per capita wealth is projected to grow 28% by 2026, passing the $100,000 threshold by 2024. And like we said at the outset of today's video, after I got done complaining about my coffee, the number of millionaires is set to grow significantly in the coming 5 years, reaching 87 million worldwide. And this data is all very interesting, but more importantly, it really points to the massive potential for those that are willing to commit themselves to taking advantage of the wealth building opportunities that will certainly be here and arise over the coming years, being in a good position to strike when the iron is hot, as they say, is something that we've talked about for years on this channel. So take a look back at some of our videos on debt weapons and wealth building opportunities. We'll include links for some of the best in the description below for you to find them easily. Just go from this video to those and just start taking a look. What do you think about this report, though, by Credit Suisse? Will you be among the new millionaires that are made in the next 4 years? Let us know in the comments below. What are some of your short and longer term goals? How do you intend on making yourself a millionaire? It's all about cash flow maximization and utilization. It's all about how you manage your debts, using debts to leverage yourself to new income and wealth creation opportunities, and then attacking debts in a strategic way. So guys, take a look at those other videos, leave comments on those as well. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't been already. And until we see you on the next one, make it a great day today, and we'll see you on the other side of millionaire status. Take care.